those inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
We address people, young boys, as if they're grown when they're not. For me, they're not young men, they're young boys. And I think if we can keep them in that space, I can do a lot more with someone in middle school when I treat them as the boy that they are versus trying to make them men when they're not. And they probably have very few examples of that.
Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Coming with straight truth.
.7 The Truth, bringing you Truth in the Morning from the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart, downtown Milwaukee, 3rd Street Market Hall. In with me this morning, I'm Bailey Coleman, by the way. In with me, the legendary Homer Blow. Good morning, Homer.
Great morning, Bailey. How are you doing and feeling today?
Very good, very good. And on the ones and twos, my guy Andrew. Andrew, we got to get you like a slick kind of name for your, producer.
There's nothing slick about me, Bailey. It's tough.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Can't even deny it. Can't deny it.
Cannot.
Yeah.
Deny it. Yeah. Can't deny it.
Wonder Bread.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if that's it, that's all we got.
We ain't gonna fight it, huh?
We ain't gonna fight it. We ain't gonna fight it.
Yeah.
We gonna,
Yeah.
We gonna let it slide, Homer.
Yes, we are.
As we kick off this show, I gotta remind you to stream and watch us live on YouTube and at 1017thetruth.com. Plus on Facebook. We're streaming live on Facebook now. Yeah. And so, write in the comments and all those. And don't forget, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a minute of a live show here on 1017 The Truth.
That part.
Homer, how you been? We ain't been together in a minute.
Right. I was great. I was enjoying Dallas, the Miltex Packers edition. Shout out to Lydell Rupp.
Okay. You did that whole deal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
Yes.
So, I remember when Reggie Brown was doing. Shout out to Reggie Brown because he was trying to get all this time off from work, and I was like, "Yo, player, look."
What we not gonna do? Yeah, but Milwaukee showed up deep. We showed up deep. We came and did what we needed to do, and I'm just glad, as I was mentioning on yesterday with Dame, that we didn't lose. You know what I'm saying? We tied. So it was a nail biter.
I got to tell you, shout out to my family in Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. I love my auntie and my uncle. Mm-hmm. Last two I got left.
Okay.
And they are avid Dallas fans. They live in Austin, Texas, and I love Austin. I went to Austin to visit for my uncle's 90th.
Okay.
I had a great time, kind of low-key fell in love with it. But I ain't about that Dallas, football life.
Right.
We all about the Packers.
That's right.
And sometimes the Seahawks right here for me.
Okay. And we were deep. I mean, when I say we were deep, we were deep. And it was... A time was had, you know what I mean?
Yeah, a time was had. I believe that. Yeah. I believe that. Did they have the annual pool party and stuff like they did before?
No, because the Packers game. It normally would have been Wet Sunday.
Oh, okay.
But the Packers
that
were
just
the
don't
stars.
sound right, but okay.
I know. Yeah, so it's commonly called Wet Sunday. Whether you're enjoying libations or whether you're at a pool party.
Okay.
So
y'all had a good time.
Yes, we had.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we were at Texas Live. I'd never been to Texas Live, and that facility, like the backdrop of the facility, is the AT&T Stadium.
Okay.
So it's like that. It's like you can hear over there, but you hear in there because they got the giant screen.
Right.
And it's set up like a stadium, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had the Cowgirl fans that were more like downstairs, but we were upstairs, and we had Antonio Freeman, legendary Antonio Freeman,
right?
And he got on stage.
Last time I seen him, he was here at it was a Juneteenth parade. He was in the Juneteenth parade, and he just happened to walk up.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Hey!" I was like, "Hey!"
Right.
Antonio. He look a little different these days, but still got that same face.
Yeah, I get to work with him thanks to West Care, Wisconsin, a lot when it's the Harambe Bader Philanthropies and West Care annual health fair at the Clinton Rose Center.
Okay.
And he always comes in.
Okay.
Plays bingo with some of the seasoned citizens.
Okay.
You know, and we always have a great interview. You know,
That's
we always have a
great.
great interview, and he mingles and takes pictures the whole night.
Yeah.
So he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Absolutely.
So when I saw him, I was like, when I saw he was going to be there, I'm like, okay, cool, that's a bet. So then I ended up calling him after he got off stage. He's like, where you at? I said, I'm here. I said, look straight, look to your right, and I'm going to be waving mine. He saw me. He said, all right, I'll be over there. So he came over there after he was taking pictures with a lot of people, and we chopped it up.
It's funny that you're talking about a Packer from that era because Mark Chmura works here,
right?
And he let me in today because y'all was asleep. Andrew was asleep. I was like texting, and then he comes walking up. He's like, "You can't get in." I was like, "I'm outside the club and can't get in."
Right. I was getting ready to use that. See, our musical genius minds think the same way. How you gonna get in?
That's
You can't even get in.
exactly Chris Brown era.
Yeah, there
Chris
you go.
Brown.
There you go. There you go. The reason there's a breezy boat.
Exactly. Look at me now. Okay. Anyway, so he let me in. We walked out. We was chatting it up and everything. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, I had a special VIP there. It's like, how'd you get in? I was like, oh, y'all was gonna leave me sitting out there, huh? Okay, I get it. But Mark Chmura wasn't gonna do that. He let me in. Yeah.
There you go. See, I'm telling you, membership has its privileges.
Whatever.
Membership has its privileges,
Yeah,
you must not know who I am.
Right.
You must not know about me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, no, that didn't happen.
It didn't?
But no. Maybe
we're
on
gonna
his
say
part. He was nice. He was always you know what? We see him all the time and he's always very nice. Always a very kind gentleman.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you would say, guess who opened the door for me?
Exactly. Guess who opened the door for me? Mm-hmm.
About opening doors for people.
There you go.
Legendary.
Yep, he is. So we've been talking about a situation with this homicide that happened
on September 21st. 15-year-old Azaria Jones was killed on 76 in Silver Spring.
That hits home for me. You know why it hits home for me? Because I used to just live I still don't live that far from there. But I used to just live.
But you ain't got to tell them where.
No, I'm just saying, I just used to live just a few blocks from there.
Yeah,
And so for me, when I hear any place on 76, and especially Silver Spring, because I used to live years ago right off of Silver Spring, so I know that whole area like the back of my hand. So when I hear that something like that has happened, it's always shocking because I'm like, that's down the street.
Yeah, I spent some time in West Lawn on Silver Spring.
Okay.
My mother, one of the places that she ended up moving to was in West Lawn. And that's why I tell people I've been on the west, I've been on the east, I've been on the north side. I haven't lived on the south side, though. But everything else, yeah. And so, the teenager that was charged, 17 years old, and he was her boyfriend.
Right.
And it's just crazy from being able to read the criminal complaint on that particular situation. There was a lot of failures, in my opinion, that took place. If your son or grandson or godson, because the third person, those initials, EJH, that was the godmother.
The godmother.
Where they actually ended up finding him. The godmother
so I thought
and the mother. The
okay.
grandmother lived at the address, which was his address, and he was living with her.
Right.
That's the one on 74th Street.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, this was a young man who definitely should not have had a gun.
Correct.
Well, okay, so what's the legal age to have a gun here in Wisconsin?
Well, I mean, 18, you got to feel like, 18, that, you can, just like you now can drink and all of that. But yeah, 18.
Well, you got to wait until you're 21 to drink.
Yeah, now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think about like some of the bartenders and servers, they can be under 21, and as long as there's a licensed bartender on duty, then they can still work in an establishment.
Right.
Serving alcohol, but they can't drink it. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure that at least 18. But we'll have Andrew look it up.
18 to own a gun, 21 to own a handgun.
Okay, so 18 to own a gun, 21 to own a handgun. Those are the legal ages.
Yeah, and a lot of people that don't look like us start training their children as early as 5 years old.
See, let me explain to you this is just the tip of the iceberg with this story.
Mm-hmm.
My philosophy, I raised a young black man. I was a boy mom.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things for me that was extremely important because he black.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. Okay, so as a parent, and as a first-time parent and an only child parent, you don't know how to navigate all these scenarios. So you go by whatever it is that you feel like works for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That could keep your child from that type of scenario, that type of harm. So for me, there was no glorification of the gun in our household.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a gun. He wasn't going to have a gun. And we was going to talk about why he didn't need to have a gun. Because the chances of you dying as an African-American male or going to prison as an African-American male are quite high. So you don't need to add to the problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, I don't necessarily believe that I don't believe he needed it to protect himself. And we ain't hunting and fishing around our camp. We're going to talk more about this when we come back. It's Truth in the Morning with Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman on 101.7 The Truth.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
So let me ask you, when the government, and again, I'm doing the air quotes, tightens the belt, who's standing underneath the belt when it snaps back?
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
Don't want you to agree. Honestly, should I be transparent? I don't really care if you agree. I, like you, want to be heard.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 101.7 The Truth.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey. Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad, and I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
.107 The Truth. Bringing you Truth in the Morning from the American Family Insurance Studio, the heart of downtown Milwaukee. Homer Blow, the legendary Homer Blow, in with Bailey Coleman. Now, as we were talking about the guns in the hands of our children, and I want to say that I'm old school. But then some old school people, they don't mind having guns around. But I didn't feel the need for that in our household. And so there were no guns. There were no, so therefore I didn't need to lock anything away. But I did tell my son, yo, you ain't playing no fighting games. No gunshot, no pow.
Right.
None of that.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Because he's a big gamer, right? Love video games. None of that until you're old enough. When you get old enough, we cool with whatever. It's you, right? But till he graduated from high school, to me, he wasn't old enough. You get your own little spot or whatever. You can do whatever you want to. But as long as you're under my roof, because you're a black male. And for me, we didn't have all of the things that traditional families have because it was just me and him. So I was like, you're not going to do that. And we talked about it because he wanted to play the pow-pows. He was like, I know it's not reality. I know it's not this. I know it's not that. But my thing was, no. And he probably started playing them before, like maybe 17 or something like that. But the thing was, I wanted him to know. And no, I didn't have any guns in the house because I didn't want there to be an opportunity for an accident of something to happen. Or how kids are. I also I wanted to, at least at our house, because nothing can be 100%, and I couldn't be with him 100% of the time.
Right.
And so, but at least at our house, I wanted there to not be a situation, where something like that could happen. So if somebody was going to break in or something, they was going to get pepper sprayed and stabbed to death.
and for me, my thing was more about, if there are going to be weapons in the house, gun safety, knowing the do's or don'ts and why this is a dangerous thing, but at the same time, why I have it. So, it went through education.
Right.
And oftentimes, unfortunately, a lot of people that are in this era, in my opinion, are not thinking about teaching gun safety because they're reckless with the gun when it's in the house anyway.
Right.
They'll lay it right on the coffee table. They'll have it on, nightstand and all of that. And again, will leave those rooms knowing that they've got children, whether they're preteens or teens and things of that nature, or the toddlers that we've seen get hold to a gun and end up shooting themselves or shooting someone else.
Or a family member totally on accident.
Absolutely. So teaching the do's and the don'ts, and because there are a lot of people that, in a lot of white families and those that live in rural areas, they're already taking their kids hunting at 6 and 7 years old. You know, so they shoot rifles, shotguns.
We ain't hunting, fishing, or camping.
Right.
We ain't doing all that. I mean, we might, the family might have a little camping trip. An extension of our family has a camping trip, which is great. But I don't think they're out there hunting while they doing it. No hunt, fish, camp. It's just,
Mm-hmm. And
Andrew out there cracking up. Andrew, how often did your family go hunting?
0. My mom was not going outside like that.
Any uncles?
I had an uncle that go hunting in Canada every once in a while.
Now, let me say this. My brother does go deep sea fishing.
Okay.
Every year, but that doesn't require a gun. Okay. They ain't out there shooting salmon, right?
That part. But I think also, like, Bailey, when we talk about rearing your son, that we still came up in the village. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where people were willing to look out for one another. You would end up being called, or they would walk down to your house. And be like, hey, Kendall over here. You feel what I'm saying? If something was to happen, or something that they know, like, your mama ain't on that. Your mama ain't on that. So, but
whoop them all the way out. No, I'm just kidding.
That would happen in some situations, not in Kendall's situation. But if that's what some people felt like they needed to do to let that person know, then that's what was going to happen. Or you were going to get scolded.
Right.
You were going to get a verbal lesson on why what you did. What you did was not right or was not cool. And we don't have a lot of that now. Even when the village tries to step in, the village is told to leave. Don't talk to my son or daughter, and
that's part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they knew they was gonna get straightened out all the way to the crib, then. But let's creep back to this the story of this young man, 17-year-old, allegedly fatally shot his teen girlfriend.
Right.
The judge on this, the commissioner
Barry,
he's been getting a lot of time, especially with these young black kids. But what was that stat that you had, Andrew? Because one of the reasons that I kept guns from my son, and was a helicopter mom, and I know everybody like, dang, you was a helicopter. Yeah, I was, and I'm not. I feel like I wasn't enough of a helicopter mom, to be honest with you. That's just me. I felt like I could have done better, but my son is like, no, we good. But there's a statistic that Andrew had a few minutes ago about young people.
Yeah, he has
about black
YouTube
kids
and Facebook.
What you got?
It's on YouTube and Facebook right now, Bailey. According to the Brady United Justice, which is anti-gun, harsher, stricter gun laws, a black person ages 18 to 25, male, female, 19 more times more likely to die of a firearm homicide than a white person same age group.
See what I'm saying?
But again, unfortunately, that unbalanced situation, in my opinion, truly does come from the fact that we don't teach. We teach our children, in my opinion, just be afraid of guns. Period. Like that's it. And like they're never gonna run across somebody. And I think that because we don't teach them gun safety, we just teach them to be afraid of guns. They don't know how to react. Like even if the little brother or little sister finds a gun, they play with it like it's a toy because there are toy guns out there. And now in this day and age, they're more realistic than ever. They make the actual sounds and
That's true.
It sounds like this. It sounds just like a 45 and it sounds like that. So because of, I think that a lot of our people are dealing with situations because they haven't tried to teach their children the gun safety. They just taught them to be scared. They wanted you to be scared or frightened of guns, period.
For us, it wasn't a matter of whether or not you were scared of it. You don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need it. You know, that's not a means that you need to protect yourself. That's
Until
not,
you do, though.
That's not where we living. We got all kinds of alarms. Like I said, somebody gonna get pepper sprayed or stabbed to death.
But home invasions are real.
Home invasions are real, but you know what? I would rather take a chance on that than a chance on my precious child, which was, I always believe kids are a gift.
They are.
Than him losing his life and being one of those percentage points, than to have that gun in my house. I don't need it.
Yeah, I think those percentages, in my opinion, really come from the lack of knowledge of, like I say, I would like to see if that same thing was put into, did they know about gun safety? You know what I mean? And so
you know what? A 2 or 3 year old that happens to, get into your cabinet or wherever you got it locked, and however it happens, it's not, for me, it wasn't worth the chance. Yeah. And to each his own. And I'll say now that my son really thinks that, there's a need for it. I'm like, nope, not here. He does.
He's right.
And he's an adult.
He's right.
He's an adult. I don't feel that.
He's right. Well,
I don't feel that.
Well, we'll talk about some hood jinx. And, so what about when we come back? Let's talk about some hood jinx. Let's talk about how our lives have changed and we have to adapt to some of the areas. Not you, but you know what I'm saying? When you come into some of the areas.
I am proud of the way I raised my son, and I appreciate that. I don't, for me.
Too. And a lot of other parents are like you.
Look, me and Jesus had it all. There it is. Jesus had me, and we kept it pushing. When we come back, there's more of that. If you want to get in on the conversation, 833-212-1017. That's our True Talk and text line. You can hit us up on the YouTube with your comments and on Facebook as well. It's all at 1017 The Truth.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
It's official. July 5th is Tory Lowe Day in the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. I am humbled to receive this proclamation from the mayor's office and the county executive's office. To me, this day represents life and purpose and being driven by passion to serve and empower others. It's about being unselfish and answering the call to help those in need and living life with intention. Despite challenges and obstacles, I remain focused on creating real change in my community, county, and state. This recognition isn't about me. It's about the collective efforts of those who supported me along the way. It's about the resilience and determination that defines my journey. As we celebrate this day, I want to leave you with a challenge. What will you do to create positive change in your community? Will you get out and volunteer, mentor, or simply be a support to a friend? Whatever it is, I urge you to take action. Together, we can build a brighter future, one that's filled with hope, opportunity, and empowerment. I am honored to serve, and I am grateful for this recognition. Let's continue to uplift and support one another, striving for a better tomorrow. So what does Tory Low Day mean to me? Let's make a difference together. Let's stay committed to our purpose and keep pushing forward, even in the face of adversity. I'm excited to see the impact we can make, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve alongside such an amazing community. Now, my question is, what does Tory Low Day mean to you?
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Low Show weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Got some delays westbound on 94 starting at about 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound, heavy ride from Highway 16 all the way to about Springdale Road, back on the brakes before 84th Street all the way through to 35th. Northbound on 4394, seeing some delays north of Howard Avenue all the way up past Oklahoma Avenue. Southbound 43, just a little pocket of heavy traffic from Good Hope Road down to about Silver Spring. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny, a high of 74 at the lake, 82 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
It's Truth in the Morning. Bailey Coleman, Homer Blow. And we're talking about guns, gun violence, recent shooting on 76 in Silver Spring. You know, that always hits home in that area for me because I used to live over there. And Homer said he lived over there for a little bit too.
Yes,
So
West Lawn.
Oh, you shouting out the lawns now.
Yeah.
Berry Lawn, West Lawn, Berry Land.
Your Berry Land, Park Lawn.
Oh, shout out to Park Lawn. Shout out to Park Lawn,
See what I'm
definitely.
saying?
Yeah, shout out to Park Lawn.
Latin, Hillside, you know.
Yeah.
All those, yeah. Yeah, they North Lawn.
Gun
North
violence.
Lawn used to be quiet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then it got loud.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Okay, well, it happens like that. Taking them off the True Talk and text line 833-212-1017. Remember, you can call or text us from Stacy. Stacy said, morning. Think of this scene from the movie Juice when Q went looking for a gun. It was easy to find from the lady in the pool hall. Same thing today. There's an outlet somewhere in the hood. Somebody's selling. Bailey and Homer, where are they acquiring their firearms? Young guy shoots his girlfriend. First thing to mind is a life lost. Then where did they get the gun? You know what? That's 2 lives lost because he ain't getting out.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, there's that part, right? Because the commissioner, what did the commissioner say? If you listen back to the audio of the commissioner, he said if it was an accident and it was truly an accident, then you made the biggest mistake you could ever make. I'm summarizing what he said. This isn't exactly what he said, but if you listen to it, this is the theme that you'll get. This was the biggest mistake you could have ever made, right? Because if you accidentally shot her, then you're going to stay there with her. You are.
That's right.
You're going to stay there and make sure that you get the help, she gets the help that she needs, and you're not going to run off and guess what? Your situation, your charges would not be, he wouldn't be facing life in prison now.
Right.
Because that's what he's facing, really.
60 years plus a 5-year penalty enhancer for a Wisconsin statute
and
using a dangerous weapon.
Yeah, and don't think that because he's 17, he's not going to be tried as an adult.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, once the Slender Man stabbing young ladies that were way out in Waukesha, Brookfield, wherever they were,
yeah.
Once they were tried as an adult, all bets was off for everybody. Wisconsin loves to try. They were like 12, 13 years old.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
now you're talking about somebody that's 16.
Yeah, once they can name a teen or a youth, in the news or media, that means that they have been charged as an adult.
Yeah.
Other than that, we wouldn't know their name.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep. So
he's
about to get that work.
Yeah.
But and some people will say, well, that shouldn't be the punishment. He probably needs mental health counseling and things like that. Well, get it while you're inside, because we just cannot. What type of messages are we sending when a family who were looking for, Azoria Jones for over 3 weeks?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was reported missing. Nobody had heard from her. Family and friends, I'm sharing the post. Everybody,
right.
So many people were sharing that post. And to know that she had been living with her boyfriend, and then for this to happen. And inside of the criminal complaint, it talked about in August that there was an altercation, and Azoria Jones' auntie, she called her because, he was, threatening her. And so her auntie came, and then he pulled the gun out and was aiming it at both of them. And she and Jones, the 15-year-old, was yelling, don't shoot my auntie, don't kill my auntie, don't kill my auntie. So they were eventually able to get away and get out of that area or that situation. But, that to me was a prelude for this tragic ending.
Well, here's the thing. That they had to have seen that somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. And thanks for the graphic, Andrew, of the Slender. They were 10.
Oh, okay. They were. See?
Mm-hmm.
So if you 17, that's it. That's a wrap. I mean,
not to make light of it, but yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, because they're like, if they got charged, and one of them just got out.
Right.
It's been a long time.
Absolutely.
She been on lock for a long time.
Yeah.
So they are not playing in this court system here, no matter who you are.
Because you gotta. One of the things that I often talk about with some of these people that end up committing homicides, the other family, the family of the victims, they got to go visit a grave site or look at an urn. The person that is in prison, you get to get visits. You get to, what I'm saying? Your family can still come and
I understand that.
See and talk to you.
That's
just
true.
You know what I mean?
But it's still a loss. It's still a loss because they could come see you behind bars. And there are some family members that say, no, I ain't finna go do that. So that's, that's a loss right there too. But you know what? These young people saw this activity from somewhere.
Right.
Whether it's, yesterday or day before yesterday, Damien and I were talking about these television shows, these reality shows where, people are fighting and all of that, and they're doing all this stuff to each other. And, some of these reality shows are just bottom of the barrel. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
When you talk about like most of the housewife shows, usually you don't see the violence if there's some that takes place on there. If they do, it's minimal. But there are actual shows. It's just about these women fighting each other. I mean, that's it.
Baddies.
I ain't mentioning no names.
Baddies.
But I'm just saying. So is that
and other shows too?
So is that where they're seeing this ad and thinking that this violence is viable? Are they learning it from the streets and the people that they're hanging out with? They think that, okay, we got a gun, we got this, we got that, and this is how you're supposed to act. Are they seeing their parents engaging in domestic violence and thinking that is the way to go? Is that because there's been lots of stories about those things too? How far is it going? Because you hear stories, about people being in bouts of domestic violence with their spouse or significant other, and you hear about all the different things, tearing up apartments, holding guns to people. So you hear all about all of these things. So is that what's going on right now? Is that what it is? Is that where they're learning this from? Because they got to be getting it from somewhere.
Yeah, and it's a vast number, just like the things, places, in my opinion, where they are learning this behavior. But when you got PWKs instead of parents, so you interjected and made sure that Kendall wasn't going to be a part of that. But when you got somebody that you have parental control, you have this, you can get a phone that is this way and that way, but you just let them get it. You let them listen to streaming services where they're not playing the radio edits.
You know, here's the thing. And that irks me more than anything when I see these. Andrew, I know we got people on. We're going to go to the phone lines next. When I see parents thinking that it's cute to have a child rapping some explicit lyrics and stuff like that. Believe it or not, even though I was feeding everybody a steady diet of hip-hop and R&B, I was making those the cleanest songs.
I
know that's right.
Fair and balanced. That's what I call it, being able to balance it out.
You know what? If it wasn't clean, we wasn't airing it. I don't care what, people say, oh, no, you didn't. You had no idea. Only Reggie Brown and DJ. Oh, no. Well, we was up in there flipping them records and we was making whole different records up in there. Right. Oh, was mixing. That's right. That's how we want to do it because we had to play those songs.
That's right.
Okay. Because that was a part of our brand. But we could make them the best songs that we could air. And we did that there. I can't, account for what they doing now. But I know when I was there and I was doing it for those 15 plus years, they was getting the best of the best. We were not airing. So any explicit lyrics that you heard, they wasn't coming from that station. They was coming from you listening to XM and all those where they don't edit. Where they don't edit or anything like that. Because you would hear a totally different song if you was listening to us.
Right.
It'd still be a jam.
Absolutely.
Different song. Okay, let's go to the Truth Talking text line. Brian, thanks for waiting. You're on Truth in the Morning with Bailey and Homer.
How you doing? Love your show. I think the only way to stop these kids from having these scenarios is if the state starts charging the parents. If this little girl was missing and she was staying with him, obviously his parents should be liable as well. I think that when your child does something egregious and you just cover it up, you should be charged as an accessory. They should be charged as an accessory to murder, reckless endangerment, because it was flashed all over the news that the girl was missing. They obviously knew the girl was in the house with them. Why aren't they charged as an accessory to murder? That's what we have to start doing. We have to. Unintended consequences are unintended consequences. When there are egregious aspects that happen, I think you need to go after the parents as accessories. I think that's the only way you can make parents become parents and take control of their children. There was a lady on, I think her name was Ashley. She was on the radio yesterday. She went out full disclosure on Tori's show and told the public how evil her son was and how dangerous he was on 27th and Capitol. Now that particular lady, there's nowhere in the world. When her son does something stupid or kills somebody, not that he hasn't already done it, just hasn't been caught, she should not be charged. But these parents that hide and keep their mouth shut and say, I'm gonna defend mine. Yeah, defend yours. But also teach them to do the right things as well. Now, if you can't do that and you're harboring criminal activity, you should be charged for egregious acts. I'm not talking about parking tickets or speeding tickets, unless you recklessly kill somebody in a car. But if you're shooting somebody and you accidentally shoot them, either way, you should be charged as an accessory, especially for missing kids.
Yeah. Thanks for calling, Brian.
Yep. And in this situation, I'll talk more about it when we come back, but I believe that she was in a group home and she had ran away from a group home. And
Okay.
I think I even saw something where her mother may not even, but I'll research that and pull that up before, and when we come back from our break.
Okay. Do we
have some of that.
do we have time to talk to Al before we? Okay. Al, we're going to get back to you after the break. You're checking out Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and Homer Blow on 101.7 The Truth.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I'm inviting you to Cousin Subs in Wauwatosa to try their brand new crispy chicken sandwich, available only for a limited time. Make sure you come out Thursday, October 9th, as I'll be broadcasting live the Tory Lowe Show from 1 to 4 from Cousin Subs on 124th West Burleigh Street, right next to Lowe's. Again, that's the Tory Lowe Show live from Cousin Subs in Wauwatosa on Thursday, October 9th. Come through, say what's up, and grab your sandwich while it lasts.
Talk to these people in terms of how do I register for this program despite my reservations and my previous experiences of rejection?
Yes, I tell anybody and everybody that you can buy a house. It may take somebody longer than the other person depending on what your circumstances is with your credit and income and affordability, but you can purchase a house. The first step would be is to register for our program. You can come to our office, 7830 West Burleigh Street, or you can give us a call at 414-461-6330, or just go onto our website, hri-wi.org. Register for the First Time Home Buyer Education Workshop. That's going to be your first step to home ownership. During that class, you're going to learn everything that you need to know from A to Z, how to get approved for a house, how to look for a house and put an accepted offer, and how to close on a home.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash game show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Junior Achievement is proud to team up with the Admirals to help young people build the skills they need to win in school, in work, and in life. Thank you to the Milwaukee Admirals for supporting JA programming and for giving our students a power play toward a brighter future. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
101.7 The Truth. Bailey Coleman, Homer Blow. Truth in the Morning for, what is this? This is Thursday?
Yes.
All right. Truth in the Morning for a Thursday. We're talking about gun violence, hood jinx, and gun violence in the hood. Let's go to the True Talk and text line at 833-212-1017. Al, thank you so much for holding. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. I just want to tell everybody, we're going to say gun violence in the neighborhood. The people who have the hood mindset is what changed the narrative, but just because one decides to be ignorant does not mean you have to be ignorant. So learn from their mistakes and let them go from sugar to sugar honey iced tea. And it's going to be a day when you have to let them rot, and don't save nobody who don't want to save themselves, because your help will come a habit. And even after you do all that, they will be in the same predicament. Let them rot.
Ooh.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Thanks, Al. You know, sometimes, I mean, Al got his own way of saying everything,
Yes,
but he
yes,
has
yes.
he has some valid points
That
a lot
part.
of the time.
That part.
True Talk and text line, Marvin hit us up. He said, good morning. Not everyone can be saved.
I say it all the time.
Some of these kids need to be put away.
I say it all the time.
Hey, you know what? I was the first to I had one of my former employees, I used to have to tell him, you can't save everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can only work your corner.
That's right.
You know, whether it be on Capitol Drive or whether it be on South 102nd Street out in Brookfield or wherever. You cannot save everybody. You got to use your own. You just work your corner and see who you catch, see who you can save. Because everybody's not also going to listen.
That's right.
You know, you could tell people over and over again. You give them all the tools, all the advantages.
Yep.
And they want to do what they want to do. Got another one on the Truth Talk and text line, 833-212-1017. If you want to call in, you want to text us. You can also hit us up on YouTube and Facebook. Have a little patience with us on those. We gotta get to those. Black Conscious, what's going on? Thanks for holding.
Knowledge to the ancestors and love everybody. Unfortunately, you can make all the laws you want. You can charge to all the parents you want. Nothing is going to curb this gun violence. We live in a nation of guns, 500 billion guns just in the United States, and that's the ones that is counted for. We're not even talking about the ones that are not counted for. It is sewn in the fabric of these United States. Try to take guns away and see what happens. Second Amendment, right? So there's nothing you're going to do. You can pray. You can call God, Allah, and all down. This is a violent nation that was built on violence, and gun is the key to that. So unfortunately, we can talk till our head turn blue. There's nothing's going to happen with the gun violence in the United States. I would love to be proven wrong, and I'm here to be proven wrong.
I know that's right. Well, thanks, Black Conscious. I love your opinion because you know what? That's valid. That's valid. But like we said, you can't save everybody, but you can try to work your corner and make your difference. You know?
And, you know, I believe that a lot of the violence can be curbed, the gun violence that is going on. If more people would choose to be parents instead of PWKs, people with kids, they're the ones that
okay, Homer? We've discussed this before, but for those that are just tuning in and they don't know what PWKs are and the difference between them and what you feel are actual parents, just give us the description.
Bailey Coleman.
Yes.
A parent.
Okay. You know what? Let me just say this. He has his freedom now, but only because I respect the fact that he's 25. So I just told him, I was like, just understand, I ain't got no bail money. I ain't got no bail money. I ain't got no. And I told him, once he turned 18, okay, you got a lot more freedoms. But let me tell you this. I can't save you from nothing. I cannot protect you from anything. Any kind of business or trouble you get yourself into out here, you on your own. But I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader when it comes to the positives. These negatives, if there's one thing that you'll know about me as a parent, I'm going to come at you straight and I'm going to tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. He hates that about me, but I give it to him real because I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not your friend.
There you go. And therein
Kendall know that
lies the difference when I say PWKs, people with kids, they're the biological mother, they're the biological father, but the rearing and raising of a child, they allow themselves to be friends with their children, which takes down a level of respect. Because they feel like, oh, I can call you bro. They can call their mother bro.
Bruh.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying?
I'm like, what? I am not your friend. I am not a man. I'm very much a woman. Don't be up at no.
Yeah.
I hear him call his friends that, but he has never done that. But I have heard other people do that to their parents.
They're not checked. They're not chastised about it. They get to smoke blunts. with them. They get to drink alcohol with them.
You know
they
what?
Get to have guns in the house. They get to go into their bedroom and make these TikTok videos and Instagram videos and Snapchat videos of them and some of their friends, a lot of times 4 or 5 of them, and they all got weapons, and they up there smoking blunts, and they're not being told, like, no, you're not doing this in this house. You're not. The things that you talked about earlier, what Kendall was not going to be able to do. Right. That's the difference of, having a parent's love instead of a PWK, people with kids, so-called love, because they really think that they doing the right thing. They really think allowing them to be out after curfew, long as you bring me some pills, Black, because they addicted to pills, and bring me a blunt. Make sure you bring me this. Bring me something to eat when you come in. What time you coming in anyway? It ain't a matter of have your ass in the house by this time. It's not that. It's the children that are selling drugs and things to that nature, to whereas they're financing, they're the one paying the We Energy bill. Yeah. They the ones, I need to pay the car note. I need this. I need that. So they're treating their children like they man.
833-212-1017. We got that clip, Andrew, the Tory Lowe clip of the lady being, having full disclosure about her son and his activities.
When we get to these situations and when you have to cry out to the community, you have went through all the channels that were available to you. What do you want the community to know?
I don't know what else to do.
What do you
I want the community to know that every mother that has a child that has these behaviors is not a deadbeat mother. It's not a mother that didn't raise her child right. It's not a mother who was just letting her son be a nuisance. Every mother is not like that. I do understand we have a lot of mothers that they condone their son's behaviors and they will stick up with, for them, whatever they do. I'm not that person. I'm not that mom. I have done everything that I can do, but I'm also not a licensed professional, so I cannot just admit my son just because he has these behaviors. I'm not a cop, so I cannot just arrest my son and place him, in a jail cell. That I can't. So expecting me to do anything more than what I've done, and I've done everything in my power, I think people really need to, number one, educate themselves on what conduct disorder is, what oppositional defiant disorder is. I think people need to understand this system that we live in and under and realize that this system is not geared towards actually helping these children. This system is actually geared towards creating a pipeline from the streets, when they decide to get into the streets, straight to the prison. You can't get upset at me as a mom for doing what I'm doing and trying to bring awareness, and then acting like I'm like all the rest of these moms out here who are just allowing their kids to be this way. I'm not that mom.
Many times when we get to these.
So how do you feel about that, Homer?
Well, I guess we'll talk about it in the next hour.
Right.
Because we got to get ready to take care of some bills. But yeah, we'll take care of some bills. And
all right.
Be Black.
You're checking out Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and the legendary Homer Blow on 101.7 The Truth.
Coming with straight truth.
If you acted up, if you were out here doing any kind of foolishness or just something that people know would make your family's name look bad, your neighbor from down the street, if they see the son or daughter, be like, what are you doing? They gonna call you out. They gonna let you know that they saw you, and then they gonna tell you, come here. Now you know I'm gonna tell your daddy.
That part.
There are a lot of times when people are new to an area, they don't know where to plug in. And anybody who plugs in the 101.7 The Truth and listen to you and Dame and Truth Nation would know that there is a significant public outcry when violence happens in our community. Don't worry about the outcry if you're not listening to the right people. So I would encourage her to tune in to 101.7 The Truth and listen to you guys, Denise Thomas, Dr. Ken Harris, Tory Lowe, and definitely Sherwin Hughes every day.
Watch all your favorite 101.7 The Truth shows by subscribing to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
The biggest snowflakes out here have always been the white Republicans. Republicans who are so gung-ho on protecting the feelings of white kids while they ignore the needs of other kids. If Milwaukee's youth has a problem with fighting, well, white youth have a problem with being destructive and offensive. So it is sad that our government is actively working to de-emphasize educating and uplifting students of color in different backgrounds on college campuses. That emphasis is going to be diminished, and the only kids that will suffer will be our kids. They were willing to hold up the advancement of the state of Wisconsin because they disagreed with DEI. What are white Republicans afraid of? Why are they afraid to face the fact that their grandmas and grandpapas were part of a system which purposely held black folks back and failed to give us the access that we deserve? Until these politicians stop ignoring these egregious acts of hate and racial incidents, America can never be great again.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Listen to the man who tells you exactly how he sees it. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
Check it out one time.
Tune in to the award-winning 1017 The Truth's Black Business Give Black Spotlight this Friday at 3:57 p.m. between the Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We will be joined by Alicia. She is the owner and chef at Tasteful Events Catering. She will discuss her catering company and why you should consider working with them, but also her passion for mentoring young people who want to start a career in the culinary arts. So again, that is the Black Business Give Black Spotlight with Tasteful Events Catering this Friday at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
It's Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman, Homer Blow, live from the American Family Insurance Studio. Want to remind you to stream and watch us live on YouTube and at 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss a minute of a live show. Of course, we are live on Facebook as well. And we just want you to be with us and hang out. Okay, True Talk and text line 833-212-1017. Homer, we just listened to, before the break, we listened to the clip of the mom that was on with Tori Lowe, and she was talking about, some of the things that her son was out in these streets doing. Mm-hmm. And, before you come to her, understand that she's, there's only so much she can do. Mm-hmm. But she was letting you know it's going on. And go ahead and tell me what you think about that. What are your thoughts?
Again, she is one of those parents that I say when people say the parents should be charged, and I say, hold on. If it's a PWK, somebody that's contributing to the negative behavior and criminal activity and lifestyles that their sons or daughters are participating in, if they have them in a surrounding where they're being inundated and they have nothing to learn except how to go out and rob, how to go out and sell dope, how to go out and, do criminal activities, then that person should be held accountable, but I don't call them a parent. So for her, to know that she's been trying to do the best that she can do and it's still not working, I wouldn't fault her as a mother. And I actually applaud her reaching out and crying out to say, look, I don't want to see my son doing these things, but I've tried all of the tactics and the things that I could do. I've tried to do this. I've tried to do that. But the person has to want the help as well. So you can try to get them a mentor. You can try to get them into different programs and activities to try to keep them away from that. But they have to participate in those programs. And when they don't, then it's like, look, I've done this. I guarantee you, in my opinion, I feel that if I was to ask her certain questions, she would end up replying, yep, I tried that. Yes, I've been doing this. I've been doing that. And some people, like we say, can't be saved or don't want to be saved. So what Future say, they belong to the streets. And as much as we don't want to try to take our hands off of them, we can only do the best that we can do. And what chips fall here or there, unfortunately, I wouldn't blame her as a mother. I feel that she's being a parent and she's seen the violence. That's why she's been able to talk about it the way that she made this social media post, which went viral, and that's why it became a hot topic.
Right.
And I have sympathy for her because of the fact that it's a lot of mothers and fathers out here that are just like them. It's like, I don't want to have to take my son out. But he acting a damn fool. I'm not going to let him treat his mother this way. I'm not going to let him treat a girl that he's dealing with this way. And the old adage, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. Some people still live by that motto.
Yeah. Well, my thought to this, take heart, because no matter how good of a parent you are, your kids are still not going to take all your advice and do everything you would have them to do.
That's right.
They're just not.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to listen, or they want to listen for what they want. And I do feel that they should filter through the information that they're getting and see what works for them. But at the same time, there are some things, it's just like, straight up and down. Mm-hmm. There's no gray area.
Right.
And they don't always do that. And especially when they start coming to a certain age. That's why I told my son, you turn 18, yeah, you got a lot more freedoms, a lot more things you could do. But understand this, I ain't got no bail money. Mm-hmm. She be calling you daddy. And he ain't got no. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm saying. I mean, it is what it is, and you are on your own at that point. And if that sounds scary, remember it is. Mm-hmm. But before that, some of these kids are breaking out there doing their things, this and that, and every parent, you may do your absolute best by that child, and they just still become something that. You're like trying to figure out.
That's right.
What happened?
That's right. And I say don't beat yourself up when it happens like that. Own up to it. Also, if law enforcement has to get involved, don't try to be Captain Save a Mom now.
Nah.
It's like, hey, look, you live by it.
There you go. Hey, you know what? I told my son, I'm going to snitch on you. Get out of line. You 18 now?
Yeah.
Get out of line and see what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not playing with you.
Right.
I do not play. He knows that.
As you
do not play. Because now, if they come into my house like that, there's no reason why no police officer should be coming to my house.
Right.
Not for something you done did.
Right.
Because that means you might as well get your own place at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have all the shenanigans going on. Let's go to Al from Sherman Park. Al, thanks for holding. You're checking out Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and Homer and Blow. How you doing?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. I heard that clip from Tory Lowe's show with the defiance disorder. Do you think the kids today have too much defiance disorder? Because back in my day, I'm thinking my father was a strong disciplinarian. There was talking, and then there was the butt whipping, and that started early, 2 and 3. I'm just wondering if we instill too much confidence in our kids and we tell them, well, you've been black and oppressed, and you don't have to listen to anybody now. No authority, because that's a white thing. I wonder if that's where defiance disorder is coming from.
So you think they're not getting whooped? They're not being disciplined enough? Is that what you're thinking, Al?
Yeah, one day I was in Target, it's probably 10 years ago, and this little girl, she had Down syndrome. She was 12. She didn't get something her mama didn't want, and she called her the B word. And I always thought, I don't care if that little girl does have Down syndrome, she will not be calling me the B word in the middle of the store.
Hello?
But she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
She wasn't that mentally challenged. But anyway, I'm just wondering if that's our problem today. We don't have enough. We're sparing the rod too much. Doing all that talking. Sometimes you can talk to kids. The other time, you got to start early, and it won't happen when they turn 12. You got to start early.
You do, Al. Thank you so much for your comments. You do have to start early. It's like one of my friends told me, your kids, especially being a single mom, they got to think you crazy. They got to think you certified. She would tell me little stuff to do. She'd be like, okay, so, make it a weekend morning. Okay. Open the windows in the house so the air is flowing. You got the breeze and everything is nice and cool. Okay, cool. Got that part check.
Right.
Then you got a cast iron skillet. I was like, yeah. I'm thinking she going to tell me something crazy to do with cast iron skillet, right? She says, go ahead and slam it on the counter as loud as you and as hard as you can in the kitchen. I'm like, okay. And then scream out his name, like, the whole name, so you do the first, last, and, like my mama used to do. And then you say, get in here. They come running in the kitchen, their eyes all up. Kendall had those little round eyes, so they was always like, and he run his little self into the kitchen. And then you just say, so here's what I think we should do today. I think we should, go here, do this, do that, da-da-da. So go get a shower, put your clothes on, let's go. And then they look at you like, that's it? Yeah, let's go. Then you're totally normal. And they're like, what in the world? My mama is crazy. Yes, she is. Crazy about you.
Yeah, that part.
And you should know that I'm going to get you if you step out of line.
That's right.
So make sure you...
This high called you down
exactly,
and it was nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I'd be like...
She would tell me all kinds of little stuff like that. Your kid turns around and says, my mom is certified. She crazy, right? Yes, she is. And that's why you're going to stay straight. You're going to stay in line. You're going to fall in line and do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And people need to understand that like, there truly is a difference when some people say, my mother or my father or whoever may have reared them beat my, they beat my. It's not a beating. You know what I'm saying? Which is the abuse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just for us the thought of it, like, yeah, if I acted up, if I did this, I know I was gonna get my butt beat. You get what I'm saying? So. And that's where those lines get blurred. People are like, well, see, people be beating their kids. And it's like, no, a lot of people just may use corporal punishment, physical discipline.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Some people do the timeout.
Yeah.
Some people be I'm going to take your favorite thing.
Yeah.
What is something that I know that you like to do?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to take that away from you because that's going to destroy you more than a belt, an extension cord.
You know what? I did a combination of things.
Okay.
And I definitely, because Kendall loved gaming all his life, loved gaming. So, I definitely, because when we moved into our new place, I definitely took away, he had all these video games, a nice room setup. I took all that stuff out. I was like, all this is mine. You got that mattress right there. Let's get it together. When we come back, more of our conversation. You want to get...
I take the hinges off the door.
Oh, dang, Homer.
Close what door?
Oh, wow.
It's my door.
Okay. 833-212-1017. That's our True Talking text line. Hit us up there. It's Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and Homer Blow on 101.7 The Truth.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Need a way to hype up your day?
Hey, is this Carolyn?
It is.
Congratulations, Carolyn. You just won this
Congratulations.
money.
Woo!
God is good all the time.
What would you do with $5,000?
I'm going to buy my nieces some school clothes because my nephew just passed away.
Oh.
So I'm going to get them some clothes.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Hey Milwaukee, it's me, Coach Erica. Are you an author with a story to tell? Join me and authors from around the world at the second annual Black Child Book Fair happening Saturday, October 25th at the Mary Ryan Boys and Girls Club. Celebrate culture, creativity, and community and share your books with readers of all ages. Visit blackchildbookfair.com to learn more and register today.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
This is Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
1017 The Truth, Truth in the Morning. Bailey Coleman, Homer Blow.
Yep.
Good morning, Homer.
Great morning, great morning. When talking about rearing and raising children.
You know, my grandmother used to always say, and my sister's probably on the other end of this conversation right now listening, going, she always said there's a difference between being raised, simply raised, and being reared. When you rear your child, you are bringing them up in a particular way so that they have goals, aspirations, and they work towards that, and they know how to work towards that. Versus just being raised where you just like, okay, you 18.
Survival.
See ya.
Yep, survival.
Yes.
And that's why I use those words and knowing that they both have different meanings.
Right.
And again, it separates. And nothing is perfect. Because, Bailey, you could do all of those things. And as some people will say that, well, I done this, I done that, I done that. And the child can still go.
They're going to go. Yeah, they're going
to smell themselves.
They're going to smell themselves. Facts. And they're going to do what they want to do. Mm-hmm. After a certain point, there's nothing that you can do. You know, you've tried, you've done your best. Mm-hmm. And sometimes our best ain't good enough, but you just hope that they're not out.
James Ingram said it.
Robbing and pillaging.
Just once, you know. I gave my all, but I guess my all wasn't good enough.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying?
James Ingram right there.
Right, absolutely. And again, so we know that those situations exist, but see, if the village could return and we've got little We've got little speckles.
Let me just say this.
Speckles.
Let me
now.
just say this. The village is gone.
Smoked out.
The village, you know what? The village is tired of being beat down when they try to help you. By you.
Yep.
They tired of risking it all to try and help you and your child, and ain't nothing going on, but you coming back talking crazy.
Yeah.
Now I'll say this: there are some that I was a parent that appreciated when Kendall would get out of line.
Mm-hmm.
If one of the parents, one of the adults in this scenario, would come to me and say, "Yo, he got a little out of line. Here's what happened. Blah blah blah."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Okay, thank you."
Mm-hmm. We appreciate it.
We appreciate that, and I'm gonna check that in right away. I appreciate that.
Yep.
But I'm one of, there's a lot of people out there, and there are some parents that are like me, that are appreciative of that. And let me tell you something, parents, if you out there now and you listening to me right now, I know you probably don't want nobody whipping your child or spanking your child or disciplining your child. But when someone comes to you, even if it's a teacher, and they tell you, hey, your child is out of line, here's what happened, respect that.
Yep.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, better you respect it now and you get that tip from them now and you check it in right now when they're impressionable and they understand and they're really learning versus later on when it's too late.
Yeah.
And they're out here robbing and pillaging people. But because you took that moment to think it was cute, you took that moment to think it was cute when it wasn't cute.
Teaching your babies to cuss and all that.
You're...
Not Robin Pillage.
Yes, Robin Pillage. You know what I'm saying.
You got Leif Erikson? You got some Vikings?
You know what I mean. Look, you took that moment, even though we're making a little light of it right now, but you took that moment. You got to realize that their lives and all of our lives are built on moments.
Mm-hmm.
And those moments when they're out of line and someone that cares about you and your child at that moment tells you, hey, they did X, Y, and Z. You might want to shout them out. Talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't check that in and you get mad at that person, you're killing the messenger instead of taking that to heart and even if you don't necessarily believe it 100%, you still need to go to your child and check it in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Find your own way to do it. It may not be as hard of a discipline as you would find if you saw the action yourself, but you have to speak to it because if you don't, again, they're going to be out here doing what they want to do later. And the effect actually happens later on at another moment.
Mm-hmm. And let me send this message out to those who are bringing up your children now.
Right now.
And let you know that if you're not allowing the village to, and you're having the village like shudder in and be like, can we say something about that one? I don't know, because we also don't take disrespect very well either. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we're trying to communicate with you, you're not going to be able to be calling a woman bro. Because as a man, I'm going to be like, she's not your bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to respect her. And so respect is all discombobulated now. But think about this to the parents that are, or the PWKs that are raising your children. If they don't end up getting it from you, and you think that when the village tries to come speak to you, you don't get to speak to the prison system. Mm-hmm. You ain't going to tell them. Your son, your daughter is going to be told when they can eat, when they go to sleep, how they got to walk a straight line. They're going to, and if they don't adhere to what they are being told to do or follow the rules of what they're being told to do, they're going to be in a hole. So that's punishment. Mm-hmm. How long they end up being in the hole, if they keep being defiant, then they're going to live their sentence out in the hole, which is not going to be fun. They're going to be confined. They're going to be by their damn self. So you don't want the community, while they're free, to be able to say, hey, look, Don't do that. I know your mother or your father wouldn't appreciate that. And one of the things that I like people to understand when I'm talking about these situations with our community and our family is I'm not leaving the father out. Even though we know that a lot of people be like, well, the father wasn't there in the life, this, that, and the other.
That's always an excuse.
I want people to understand that I understand how important it is to not leave out our fathers and those that are trying to be there to help navigate. So that's important to me, and I do that, and I say that intentionally for those who may be like, he don't just say the mom all the time. He say the mom or the dad or the grandparents, because I know how the family fluctuates. Sometimes grandpa or grandma will see that, no, our child ain't doing right, and we're not going to allow our grandson or our granddaughter to go down just because they on some foolishness. They want to. No, we will take them out of the household instead of having CPS have to come in and do it, because we know that the children didn't ask to be here and they don't deserve to go down a route or a path that you have chosen that is going to end up having them a family behind bars, a family of criminals. So you have to end up understanding that the village wants to participate, but you can't try to keep the village terrified.
The village is tired of you because, you see these videos and stuff on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram all the time about with teachers or, other people that are telling you about your kid. You decide that you want to pop up to the school because you mad because you didn't hear what you wanted to hear.
Right.
Because you mad. And you start trying to fight them and beat them up and pepper spray them and do all of the things. No, the village tired.
Right.
The village like, you know what? I'm finna go home, get me a nice hot bath and relax and let my hair down and do what I need to do to take care of me. I ain't got time for your fights.
Right. And stop blaming unks, aunties, OGs, for saying, well, y'all don't listen to these kids, y'all don't this, y'all don't that. Listen, it's the fact that we're not just going to allow them to disrespect us. And in order to try to rear them in the right direction, we're going to give them the real hard facts of, well, y'all ain't helping them. Y'all just talk about them. Y'all just this. No. We want you to be right. But if you want to try to give us what the streets gave you, that's not what we bringing to you, because you got to have, it's important to have both, in my opinion, book knowledge and street knowledge. A lot of these people say, forget the book knowledge, I'm just going to go up to street knowledge. And you're going to end up in situations that some of these people are in now, or you're going to end up dead or locked up for the rest of your life.
Or your child. 833-212-1017. That's the True Talking text line. Got one off of there. Miss Evans said, like Rick James said, cold-blooded, Bailey. Oh, I'm a snitch on you. But I totally agree. Hopefully save someone's life. You know what? Here's the thing. When it comes to that, we get to a point where I don't want certain things happening in my house.
Right.
And if you out here just doing your thing and you don't care about me, my safety, and what I got going on, and I've been providing for you all these years, taking care of you, keeping a roof over your head, doing the right things, I got no time for it. When we come back, we'll have more of our conversation about gun violence and disciplining your children and all that right here. 833-212-1017. That's the Truth Talking text line. You're on 101.7 The Truth. Truth in the Morning.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you can save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
To help those who want to be helped,
but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease and he's on dialysis and he wants to get on the list and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute. Even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
Eastbound 94 backing up now from about 84th Street through the stadium interchange. The westbound side not looking too bad till you get to Waukesha. Then it's just a little bit backed up from about just before Elm Grove Road all the way to Calhoun. On southbound 43 backing up from Silver Spring down to almost North Avenue. Northbound side's all clear. Northbound 41 though, different story. Backed up from before Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh almost to Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny, a high of 74 at the lake, 82 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
It's 101.7 The Truth in the morning, live from the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. This 3rd Street Market Hall. Homer.
Yeah.
Raising these kids ain't no joke.
It's not. And again, it's time consuming, but again, we are able to look at the results of putting that time and energy and dedication into our children, because we don't have children that have been to jail and prison and, just out here doing criminal activity. And again, we know that nobody's perfect, so there's going to be some snafus here or there, but a lot of people that are going through things, to be able to know that we've been able to raise children and raise families, and it's not our story. So we know it can be done. We are the living proof that it can be done.
And make no mistake about it, our kids ain't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
There's no perfect anybody, anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but are your kids off robbing and pillaging? Andrew's like, What are they, pirates?
Yeah. I thought he was gonna find a pirate sound.
Okay. Aye. Arr. But, I mean, and that's, you want them to be productive citizens. That's what you want. That's what you want. Let's go to the True Talking text line, 833-212-1017. Marlon, you're on Truth in the Morning with Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good.
Bless.
One of the issues that I see is some of these kids have problem with authority when it's not their parents, and even sometimes their parents. I'm an official. I officiate volleyball and track and field, and it's really odd to me how, as a black official, I'm out there and I'm trying to talk to our black kids and just impart wisdom into them, or just kind of give them direction. And a lot of times it's like, bro, get out of here. This and like you said before, that's one of the things I stop right about. I'm not bro. I am an official. I'm in charge. Understand authority. You know what I mean? And a lot of these kids don't like authority. So then they come, bro, don't talk to me like that, or just disrespectful, because they know that their parents is going to take their back in the way that they act towards me, which really is unfortunate. And as long as these kids have that sense of it's okay to do what I want to do because my parent is not gonna care or discipline me, then I think that's more of an issue. You know what I mean? I think, a lot of times we put it on the kids, but like I keep going back to is a lot of this onus is on the parents, and the parents are the ones who teach the kids. Bailey was saying it before, we're not our friend, but you rear your children. I thought that was an interesting story, how you told your son that you didn't have no bail money for him, because when my boys went to college, same thing. I kind of told them, hey, you're off on your own now. Things are going to change. I'm not necessarily the hammer and the nail like I was when you were in my household. But I switched roles. But now I'm more of a confidant or a sounding board, or somebody you can bring issues to, and I'm gonna give you advice. But it's up to you to decide how you're going to live your life, and hopefully it's a good way because of the way I raised you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So those are things that we have to teach our kids. Yes.
That is so true. You definitely have to teach them that, and thank you for your call, Marlon. You definitely have to teach them that, I brought you to this point. Now it's your time to fly.
Yep.
Now, go on and fly, do your thing, but remember, you make the wrong choice, it's going to be a problem. And I can't get you out of it at this point. Right. There's no way, there's nothing that I could do to make it right for you. So make wise choices.
Yep. Going to the YouTube page, and great morning. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all who's been participating on the YouTube page. 1017 The Truth. You can also watch us on Facebook Live at 1017 The Truth and on X. And while you're there, make sure you like and subscribe. RC Creation Muse said, without that foundation, human learning and intelligence can lack the deeper moral and spiritual grounding. Prentice Young said, sometimes it's not as extreme as the prison system. We need to be advocates of teaching kids to understand consequences of life, how to get good credit, be respectful, pursue your dreams, et cetera, et cetera. LaRon Taylor said, I know times have changed, but my parents told me if I didn't maintain the standards and expectations of the family, I had to get out. That was behavior, academics, and work around the house. He also said, when all that was done, I could play sports. Sports were so important to me, I didn't mess up the others. Will D said, good morning. Part of the problem is there's too many young parents trying to be their child's friend instead of raising them. Plus, there's too many young grandparents out there, too. And again, the ones that you are speaking of, when I hear people speak about that, those are the ones that I'm calling PWKs. You feel what I'm saying? Those are because they're not parenting. They're letting their children yell at them, cuss at them, walk out the house because they upset of you trying to correct their behavior or tell them what they're not going to do. They throw tantrums and all that kind of stuff. It's like, no. that wasn't going to be tolerated. And for those of you saying, well, we need to educate them, we are trying to educate them.
Right.
I think that some people don't understand when they hear grown people talking. We're talking to our community as a whole.
Yes.
We're not just saying somebody else that is grown like we are. We're talking to those that are bringing them up, and we're trying to give you the tools.
Yes.
We're trying to give you the jewels to make sure that you don't have to be trying to bury your son or daughter because they was out there living that life.
Yeah.
We're trying to, you have to go and try to get on their books to go see them, and you're constantly sending money out. You're spending all this money on phone calls and all that kind of stuff. We're trying to interrupt that pipeline and let you know that these are, when you be like, well, what should we do? We're trying to explain to you what some of the keys that were utilized, and somehow people thought those keys didn't mean nothing. They were too old to relate to what we're going through now. It absolutely relates to what's going on now, because I can see some of the behavior patterns of the youth that are out here that I can tell what type of household they were brought up in. I can tell who in that household contributed to the delinquent and all of this craziness that they're doing, where the guns are coming from. When people want to always talk about, well, how the guns getting into the community. I don't care that we know different things of how some of these guns got there. Those guns were in the community when I was coming up, but I didn't go utilize those guns. So when you try to blame, stop trying to make excuses and get your children, get your son, get your daughter, talk to some of these young parents out here or these young guardians out here, because they're not the first ones to have children when they were young. And that's some of the things that people try to say too, Bailey. It's like, well, the parents are so young, this, that, and the other. No, when you had a baby when you were 14, you know what I'm saying? You had to raise that child.
Yep.
What you were not going to do is be able to go enjoy life as if you didn't have a child.
There you go.
Ended up doing the act that created this child. That's a human being. You are now responsible, and you're not going to get to do all the fun things that you used to do, because now you have a bigger responsibility for the rest of your life, and you're going to learn how to take care of your son or daughter. You're going to learn how to instill morals and values in your son or daughter. And whichever form of discipline, you have to know that there's a cause and effect. And discipline is one of those necessary actions. If you don't believe me, you ask why you got to go up to see your son or daughter in jail or prison right now.
Ooh.
Hashtag that part, hashtag
Ooh.
facts. Now clip that.
Oh. Let me say this to, and I want to be totally about the uplifting at this moment, because it's not that your fun times are over or you can't do it. You can do it. You can raise your child. You can have a career. You can do all of the things, and still raise someone that's not going to be out in these streets. Okay? So I don't want you to think that you can't do it. You got to look at your child and realize that they are the priority now.
Yep.
You're going to be able to go out every once in a while and kick it and stuff like that, because you're going to have a babysitter, because your family is going to see how responsible you are. But you have to realize, and fellas, it is what it is, whether you're there or not, all the better if you're there and you're playing a role in your child's life, But ladies, you can still do all of the things. Just make sure that you realize that kid is the priority. Now that you've had a child, that's your priority, okay? And that's your future. That is your future. And if you're the father and you're the one that has custody, that child is your future, and you need to, it's a gift.
Yep.
Kid is a gift. Child is a gift. And you need to look at it that way and do everything you can to take care of your child, show your child the right way, and they'll come back to it. Even if they get off track, they're going to come back to it. Go to the True Talk and text line 833-212-1017. Nikki, thanks for holding. You're on Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and Homer Blow.
Hi, Bailey and Homer. Good morning. Thank you for my call. And I had to jump into this. I was a teen mom twice. I had my first daughter at 16. I had my second daughter at 18.
Okay.
And you hit the nail on the head, Bailey. And it's like, I think I did a fairly good job with raising my kids being so young. My oldest daughter graduated from college. She's a first grade teacher. My youngest daughter was gifted and talented. She does great in real estate, right?
Wow.
But I have to kind of go back to what, the resources and support that I had being a teen mom. And a lot of it, my parents, my family supported me. As long as I went to school and I went to work, I never had to really worry about my kids.
There you go.
So I threw myself into school and I threw myself into work. But I also had kids at a time where community-based organizations were thriving. Silver Spring Neighborhood Center, COA, and I ended up taking jobs at those locations. And the people at those places also helped me as a parent because I had access to older women. I had access to other people that really cared, and they kind of showed and helped me raise my children. So I cannot say that what I did was solely on my own. I had a lot of people pouring into me and assisting me, and when they saw that I wanted to do better, they actually assisted me with doing that. And I sit down and I think about it, so many resources, so much support that I had that I could go and get 3 degrees, right? I can go and do all these things and make sure that my kids had this really well-rounded life. But I had to sit back and look at the young ladies now. It's like, what resources and support do they really have? And we can't expect for anybody just to know how to parent, because parenting looks different and it means different to a lot of different people. Like you said, PWI. But we don't have the community pouring into them anymore. If it takes a village, but if your village is broken, right? If your village is dysfunctional, it's not healthy for that child. And I think that's what happens too often is that, we have these kids and these young ladies with these children that don't have the support, and they're doing things that they think may be right. But at the end of the day, it's doing a lot of harm and trauma to their children. So I just wanted to add into that because in order for me, being a teenage parent, it took a lot.
Yeah, I thank you, Nikki. Thank you so much for your comments. I was not a teenage parent by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll have more of your comments from the True Talk and text line. Brandon, I know you're on hold. Please hang in there with us. 833-212-1017. It's Truth in the Morning. Bailey Coleman and Homer Bro. We'll be right back after this.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. We are the American Cancer Society, making strides against breast cancer. We are nearly 1 million strong and growing stronger every day. Join us on Saturday, October 11th at 8 a.m. at Summerfest Southgate as we come together for the Making Strides of Milwaukee Walk. Whether you walk for a survivor, in the memory of a loved one, or to support the American Cancer Society, you bring us closer to a future free from breast cancer. Are you ready to join the #1 breast cancer movement in the country right here in Milwaukee? Sign up for free today at www.makingstrideswalk.org/MilwaukeeWI.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Junior Achievement is proud to team up with the Admirals to help young people build the skills they need to win in school, in work, and in life. Thank you to the Milwaukee Admirals for supporting JA programming and for giving our students a power play toward a brighter future. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
My name is Adrienne, and I was hurt in a car accident. What Gruber Law Office has done for me was made me feel safe. It didn't cost me anything, just one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Morning on the final leg of the show on 101.7 The Truth, the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. Yeah. My guy Andrew, our producer, and Homer Blow.
Yep.
Homer, what was that you're calling yourself, Andrew? Milquetoast? What were you saying?
Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
He's just so too much.
I thought you may as well say Mr. Carl's. I can't,
Yeah.
Jaeger, the red bread.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But to our caller, one of the things that I wanted to say, and I definitely supported, probably 98% of what she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
The 2% is that, in my opinion, because of working in the community and doing all of this, the things that I try to do to assist people or give resources to people, is that I know that there are programs that are out here. There are programs for these young girls, these teenage girls, the teenage moms. There's My Sister's Keeper, shout out to Shelley Conley, Milwaukee's poet laureate, and to Tina Nixon, Kwabena Anton Nixon's wife. They do the My Sister's Keeper. Mm-hmm. You've got Pearls for Teen Girls.
Yeah, I've been a big supporter of Pearls for Teen Girls.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And other grassroots organizations that are out here to help some of these young girls. But again, you have to want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to want it.
Because some of these programs, and there's so many others, and just like there's things for the boys, too.
Right.
And even with our very own Damian Elsie, the legendary Dame Elsie, he's a mentor. You feel what I'm saying? So all of these things are available. Like I say, we got to seek them out like we seeking out to fight or seeking out somebody that, did you see the person that got shot? It's a video up, you know what I mean? And sharing all of that. So we share some of the ignorance and the trauma, but we don't share some of these flyers and the information that these organizations put. Hey, pretty girls are educated. Shout out to Nicole Goins. Mm-hmm. Right now she's out of the country. But yeah, her program, just saying pretty girls are educated. And so there's so many things that are available. Let's utilize what we have instead of trying to talk about things that we don't have.
Yeah.
Because those programs are waiting for your daughter.
Right.
Teenage or not. There are programs that are going on right now, and I just needed to say that so some of the people that feel like, ain't nothing, she right, it ain't. It is, though.
Yeah.
But I understand why she said what she said, but yes, there are. I just wanted to make sure that people understand, like, Running Rebels, all of these places got resources besides just calling 211.
Yeah.
You can go to some of these other organizations, the Fatherhood Initiative, just your coalition.
Oh,
and all of that.
211 can lead you right there. Yeah. Hey, let's go to the True Talk and Text line. Brandon, I know you've been holding. I appreciate you. You're on Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and Homer Blow. What's going on?
Good morning, Bailey. Thank you for taking my call. I wanted to check the comments, and I hope someone listening doesn't take offense. But the reality is the resources that are truly lacking in our community is common sense. If you are a teen parent, that tells me two things. Your parents failed you, and it's likely that your children will not be as successful as they could have been and should have been had you properly plan your in our community, we're one of the only communities that has a vast majority of our children being born to single-parent households, typically ran by women. So I would couch a lot of these issues with choosing your mate wisely. I believe there used to be a time where to get, for instance, to get to my grandmother, my grandfather had to interact with my grandmother's parents. And if you're going to pick a mate and you're a woman, you need the guidance and assistance of the males that care about you. Without that, you're not going to have the success in seeing through some of the BS that's potentially out here. I think too often we are pretending as though these children aren't smart. These kids are out here hopeless because they live in a community that has no hope for them. They know they can go to school every day and not be prepared for college at UWM. They know they can go to college and not be prepared for the job because this will be the first time that they are the minority and they're from environments where there aren't a lot of white folks, and that's the exact opposite of the corporate world we live in today. So I don't want to monopolize too much time, but I think the thing we need to do is start being honest with these folks. And the reality is majority of our children, they come from middle-class households. They will not have a better life than their parents, and that is a systemic issue. That is not something you handle with Pearls for Girls. Thank you so much.
Damn. All right. Well, Brandon, thank you. Thank you for your comments. Now, let me say this, here in Milwaukee, no, most of these young ladies do not come from middle-class households.
Hashtag facts.
Not at all. Not at all. In Milwaukee, either you're doing well or you're not. I learned that when I came here. Either you making it or you in the struggle.
It's like Jamaica.
Yeah, it is.
Living in Jamaica, you either rich or you poor. There's no middle class.
Well, I wouldn't say you're rich if you're making it. I'd say that's the middle class, right? Mm-hmm. So you're either in the middle class or you're not. Mm-hmm. Either you getting along and everything's okay, you still probably living paycheck to paycheck, but you ain't missing the bills. Mm-hmm. Or you in the struggle. Yep. Let's be real about it.
Real talk.
And so these programs are needed, and they do help, especially like Pearls for Teen Girls. Mm-hmm. It is really helpful to these young ladies.
Right.
I've been there. I've seen some of the programs I see. So shout them out all day, every day, because they are effective in helping them change their lives. So let's not.
Yeah. And as I say, my sister's keeper with Shelly and Tina Nixon.
Yeah. They're making change. They're
pretty
changing.
Girls are educated.
They're changing lives. They're changing lives.
That you're better than that.
But these young ladies have to want to be in those programs and participate.
Hashtag facts, hashtag that part, hashtag no lies detected.
And, that's just is what it is. Okay. Yeah. So we got to go.
Right. I want to salute the Urban Learning Collaborative. In August, I was sent the fact that someone nominated me and I was chosen for their Legacy Award.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I will be receiving that on October 18th.
That's wonderful.
At the St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Okay.
And then also, while I was on my way back from Texas, I ended up getting an email from the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office where I am being presented on behalf of the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office in Milwaukee County a Community Service Award on October 9th at the War Memorial.
Congratulations, Homer. Well deserved.
I'm humbled and honored.
Both are well deserved. I want to remind everybody that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I got my little, I always have a little pink on somewhere. Yeah. Okay. And you know what? Go for your exams, talk to your doctors, talk to your friends, do whatever you can do, but make sure you get your checkup in, okay? All right. We'll check you out tomorrow. Same time, same place. Up next, my guy Sherwin Hughes, right here on 101.7 The Truth.
Coming with straight truth.
Everything got a message. I'll say this. Y'all can't be tired if y'all still